My name is Mohammad Zoda Faizali, and this is my COVID-19 quarantine story. My quarantine story started on January 24th. After getting back from the downtown, I noticed some changes in the dorm rules. Now the dorm stopped allowing visitors to get into the dorm building, which was not the case in normal times. Now only students living inside the building could go in and out of the dorm building. That was the first response to the COVID-19. Next measure was to start registering students whenever they enter or leave the dormitory building, school canteen or the campus supermarket. And to make the job of the registering these information easier and faster, students would apply for a pass. The pass would have the passport-sized photo of the student, his name, his faculty, passport number, and a phone number. So to register, students would just simply hand out this piece of paper and to the one registering, and that's all. Few days after this, the school started to impose new rules, not allowing students to go out of the campus for more than 2 hours. Students who wanted to go out of the campus for some reasons needed to register at the lobby of the dorm building and get a gate pass. And this way the dorm and the campus management knows who goes out, when, and for what reason. And this was the next measure taken against the COVID-19. The other thing that the university did was to get the number of the students still in the dorm. And to do this, teachers would go and knock every door in the dorm and register those who are still there. Since most of the students went back home for the winter holidays earlier, the university didn't know for sure how many students were still left. To get the exact number, they had to count students manually. After counting the number of students and knowing for sure how many of them were still inside the campus, teachers from the Faculty of International Education created several WeChat groups and added those students there. This way they could send latest news, updates, notifications, and other rules and regulations to students and make sure they get them. They also made sure every student measures their body temperature at least once a day in the lobby and reported in the group. The WeChat group was in the first place designed and created to assist students in every possible way and to hear their voice, their needs and opinions. Shortly after, around February 2nd, the university has closed the gates to the campus and restricted students from leaving or entering the campus. This was done to further control the situation and minimize the chances of students getting infected while being outside the campus. I think the thing that encouraged the university management to take this step was the fact that several people in the city got infected with COVID-19. So students walking around the city might get infected. So keeping them inside the campus was a good idea. Muslim canteen in the campus is functioning during the winter holidays, while there are very few students still in the campus. In fact, that's the only canteen that's open for students. But it's the place that gets crowded, so the canteen management has taken some measures towards the well-being of the customers. Every time customers enter the canteen, they have to register their entry by scanning a QR code using WeChat. This will help to keep the track of flow of people. Also, every student's body temperature is measured at the door by staff to make sure nobody with body temperature higher than 38 degrees enters the building. Eating inside was not allowed till a few days ago, so everybody had to buy their food and take it to their room to eat. And there was a line. And there was a line so that people keep a reasonable distance between each other. And I almost forgot about the most important, the mask. It is required to have it on all the time while leaving the dorm building, going to canteen or the supermarket. Now that I have mentioned face masks, the free distribution of masks by university to students in the campus twice is something worth mentioning. The first time was at the beginning of the epidemic, late January. It was when students weren't prepared for the epidemic situation and did not have masks. The second time was in April. Some students here cook by themselves and rarely eat from the school canteen. Before the campus was on lockdown, I used to buy vegetables and fruits from the market close to our campus. But after the campus closed the gates, me and other chefs were worried about where to get the vegetables, and this was a real concern. The teachers from the School of International Education were there to hear our problem and report them to university management. And they heard us. They came up with a solution. First, they wanted to bring those vegetables and fruits to campus supermarket so that we can buy them not leaving the campus. The idea was good, of course, but not very practical. So they implemented part of it and only brought fruits to the campus supermarket. We had to wait a few more days for the next, more practical solution. Later, the grocery issue was solved. The university made a contract with a local grocery selling company and they started providing us with vegetables, oils, eggs, wheat flour, fruits, dairy products, and a bunch of other things that we need. We simply order these things on the WeChat store of the seller and pay online. Then, twice a week, we get those groceries shipped to our doorstep. And there is no delivery fee. The shipment is done twice a week, on Tuesday and Friday mornings. When the orders arrive, the delivery guy puts them in front of the dorm doors and leaves all the receipts at the reception. Then the teacher on duty takes all those receipts and starts calling the phone numbers on the receipts to notify students about the arrival of the shipment and to just tell them to come downstairs to pick up their order.
你好，是奥马尔吗？你订的蔬菜到了，来留言取一下。
And that's something that I guess is not part of their duty, but yet they do it. Disinfecting the dorm building was the other thing that dorm management started doing specifically for this situation. And they still do it, and they do it daily. We also have teachers taking turns to spend a full day and night inside the dorm building in a room that is allocated for this kind of situation. They stay there and students can go over to them to ask questions, solve problems, take advice, etc. They are basically there for the students whenever they need them. Usually in normal times they are not there, but for this special occasion, for this special situation, they are there for us. During the quarantine, me and my wife buy a lot of stuff from Taobao, an online shopping platform, and to get them delivered to our university gates pretty fast. They deliver the packages to the campus gates and call recipients to come and get their parcel. The epidemic situation also affected the opening times of spring semester in universities and colleges. So students were advised to stay at home and abstain from coming to the campus. Most of the students went back home for the Spring Festival, a Chinese New Year, and the epidemic situation started while they were still home. But it didn't stop the university from conducting classes. They just switched to online form. All the teachers from different departments were ready to conduct online classes. They made prior arrangement, got students ready for the switch, instructed them about online teaching platforms. So by the time we were supposed to start the spring semester, which was February 17, all the lecturers and students were ready, and we started the semester as it was planned. No delays, just in another form. Taking online classes is something new to most of the students, and it is a big change for the most instructors too. Of course, students have different opinions about attending virtual classes. Some think it is not effective, others think it is more. And I personally think it is, in most cases, better than attending classes in physical classroom. For online classes, we primarily use Zhihui platform for submitting homeworks, recording presents, and we use Tencent Meeting for live streaming. They both work fine, and they both are free, at least from the student end. The whole world is struggling now with some countries suffering more losses than the others. While scientists are working very hard on vaccine, other doctors and nurses are doing a heroic job of dealing with patients every day and putting their life at risk. And the same applies to sanitation workers, public transport drivers, and all others who deal with people on a daily basis and help overcome the epidemic. Soldiers in fight against COVID-19. Of course, the battle is still on. Countries still keep fighting. I mourn with those who lost their close ones, and I wish all the other infected patients a full recovery. I wish everything returns back to normal again soon. Stay home, stay safe, and protect yourself and your loved ones.